na the one yeah, you rewind now, they say, and the capital territory. As the government is not choosing any one in Aban, they rewind the sale. Where's good man now? Where's good man now? Enugu? On I am waiting angle become. Is it the government is it is Ayana Ubi Angli Aqua? The Margane one, Kirudi Gabunka. Kirudi Gabunka. I see the go and I see the nightclub. Kidia Margay, men wait to win on the mother. The one and asked by this day, see the Cubana. Getting a Margay, all go happen. Getting all the just warm or become. All go happen or getting all the just warm as they see the Cubana. Kirudi Gabunka. Piam Monda is even with the holy hand. There and I see the Cubana. Then, I took it. Let's see the Cubana. Let's see the Cubana. Let's see the Cubana. So let me just hazard a guess on why these clubs were sealed. You know, I haven't really gone around and I haven't really spoken to anybody about the reasons why these clubs were sealed. But I'm just trying to hazard a guess. Ground rents, tax, noise pollution. You know, these are the recurrent decimal on why these people go, the capital territory developments in Enugu goes about sealing people's properties or people's business premises. So I'm trying to hazard the guess because I've not spoken to anybody in government. I know this is weekend, but I'm sure in coming days they're going to reel out the reasons why. But I'm just hazarding the guess, and that's what exactly most businesses are facing. Most businesses that I've spoken to tend to tell me this is exactly what they're facing with the government of the day. The tax issue, ground rent issues, that the money is too much that they pay, and even when they try to spread the monies to the public tend to complain because, again, where do you expect them to get the monies from? Specifically, where do you want them to get the money from when it is clear to them that, you know, they can actually do alternatives? You know, so I've also spoken to the finance commissioner about this tax thing that every business these days is shouting ground rent, and it's too much. If it's not S1 today, is ground rent tomorrow, is this one. What he told me was clear. He said, see, that under the previous administration, it was like they were all on holiday. On holiday is that somebody comes to meet you for a tax and say maybe the tax is 500,000 naira for maybe a year. I'm giving an example. So the person tells you, okay, it's 500,000, but if you can pay 150 or 200 in our personal account, then we can forgo the remaining. We know that these things are hard, things are difficult. You do it. And so because of that, most of these people got used to it. They say, okay, the thing is not too expensive. So forgetting that there's a limit, there's a capping for each limit for categories of businesses. If you are doing restaurant, you are doing salon, there are different categories of the amount of money you should pay. But I'm just giving 500,000 naira as a baseline. So they pay far lower than what they should pay. So it feels to them like it is okay. Every now and then, nobody comes to disturb. What they come to do is, once they come knocking once, twice, you talk them into paying to personal account, and then they leave you away from it. And maybe sometimes they connive with their bosses in the office and share these monies. That is exactly what played out under previous administrations. But this guy came, not knowing anybody, knowing his business-minded personality and employing people who want to really do the job, do the business. You say, okay, for taxes, this is exactly the level. If you're a club, if you are a merchant, if you whatever you are, this is the tax, which is known. That they have kept saying that no 1 naira was added to the tax, that they left it like that. But it's just that these guys, when they come to meet you, there's nothing like pay to my personal account, you have a teller. Like you pay online. They will give you a receipt. Like it's digital. That's the word. It's no longer as manual as it used to be then, where somebody write receipt and give you. When somebody comes and say they give receipt. No, it's digital. Like it will reflect on their system that this payment was made and the amount that was made. So that is exactly what that now because of that, the business owners are now shouting that they're meant to pay exorbitant price, whereas they were paying prices that were false in the past. So that is the argument of the government of Enugu State. Well, there has been several back and forth about it. Some people will say it's false, it's a lie, that's not true. Some people will say it's true, that's not true. But this is exactly what the government has consistently said. Whoever you go, whether it's a personal assistant to the governor or on revenue, or you're talking about the commissioner, that's what they kept saying. Now, we're still talking about this club thing. But again, on the flip side, these clubs, I thought that recently the governor released a huge sums of monies to invest in tourism. And of course, nightlife is part of tourism. They're trying to build zip line, they're trying to build a lot of things, improve the cave so that people can do other things when they basically come. It's part of also the growing plan. Now this week that they're going to launch the bus, the Enugu Air, and every other thing. Nightlife will be a huge role, would have a huge role to play, when it comes to, tourism in Enugu, as the case may be. Now, sealing of these two clubs, for me, is demarketing the government. I tell you the reason why. If I am an investor who probably lives in England and this video is out and I see they've sealed this club and they sealed that club, what I will be thinking is, okay, why? I've just hazarded a guess, and trust me, it cannot be anything less or more than these particular things I've said. You cannot be sealing two clubs back to back. Is it that both of them plan not to pay tax at the same time, or is it that they're owing ground rent, or is it that your tax is actually exorbitant? What exactly is it? I'm just, like I said, is hazarding a guess. I've not spoken to anybody in government, but I'm sure that is going to be amongst these things I have mentioned. Now, if I'm an investor, I will be circumspect for the way to. So government can just wake up in the morning and seal my business like this, without at least recourse to me. Because again, there are certain things that you would do, it will become to the disadvantage of the government, even though you are looking for monies to, it's okay to seek tax from the businesses that operate in your state. But then again, I think there are other ways you can go about it that will not be publicly embarrassing. Because if I'm an investor, I'm looking to see that this thing is happening. Maybe I want to invest in that nightlife. I'll be circumspect. I'll be just thinking, given the antecedent of Nigerian government and even in the States, it's possible that these people can wake up one morning and seal my business. The person will not be thinking, maybe the business is not paying rent. Maybe the business is not doing this one. The person will not be thinking, they'll be thinking, this one, they don't see this person on with on ground. Waiting I be, or who I be, where I will come bring my money so they put for club. So I think there are other ways, other means, even though I'm not holding any brief for anybody who owes tax or anybody who owes ground rent or anybody who hasn't paid what they're supposed to pay. But I'm also saying that there's several ways we can do these things. We shouldn't just wake up and start selling things. I mean, you can invite these people. Tell them to come. Let's talk. What is the problem? Why are you not paying? Okay, can we stagger your payments? Can you stagger your tax? Can we stagger your dues? Is it possible so that you can also be in business? Because that's what people do. So after all, in other climes, they give you tax holidays. That place employs people. Yes. That place employs people, even though that you can say the business has stayed there for a long time, but that place has changed name. And whenever it changes names, there's a new management, there's a new owner. Maybe the owner of the property might be different, but the owner of the business might have changed over time. Because I knew when it was, what was it called before? It was called one other name. In fact, as the last check, it has changed name up to 4 to 5 times, if not more. It has changed several names. So there are also other ways I feel that we can basically, engage these people so that we don't demarket the state. While we're trying to market the state for investments, for tourism, we don't also demarket the state, so that people don't come in. And who knows, maybe some persons within the government might be interested in that club business, and the only way to be relevant is to knock these guys out, because they are the two top, clubs and nightlife environment that we have right now in Enugu State. Yeah, you can see all others, but you can't mention top 10 nightlife places. You can, without mentioning Rewind and Cubana. In fact, they are actually even in the top 5. They are at the center of the Independence layout, very close to the government house. It's more like from there you can go to government house. So, and that place has always been also a hub of ladies who come to look solicit for men. That's not the topic for today, but I need to mention that if the reason why they are doing this is because of those girls that stay in that access. There are different ways you can talk about these things now. Even in Lagos, Allen Avenue, these girls stand on those streets now. And other Abuja will say too. They play plenty. So I'm just hazarding the guess. Remember, this is not a giving that, this is exactly what is may have happened. But I'm just hazarding a guess as to what has happened, what has played out. But again, I don't think selling these businesses and in the same breath saying we're inviting people to come and do investment in tourism would do well. But I feel that I feel this is going to be resolved quickly too, so that we don't wash our dirty linen out there. But anyway, tell me what you think. I would really love to hear from you as always. God bless.
Rewind now. The capital territory. As the government is not choosing any one rewind the sale. What's going mad now? What's going mad now? On I am wasting angle because the government is Ubi Angry. The Margane one Kirudi Gebunka. I see the go and I see the nightclub. Kidia Margay, which you went on the mother. The one and asked by this day, see the Cubana. Getting a mother, all happen, getting all the use for more people. All happen to come, getting all the use for more, as they see the Cubana. You do the Gebunka. Monda is here waiting all the hand. There and I see the Cubana. Then, I took it. I see the Cubana.